distribution arguably began on August 26, 1895, when water flowing over Niagara Falls was diverted through a pair of high-speed turbines that were coupled to two 5,000 horsepower generators. The bulk of the electricity produced at about 2,200 volts and used locally for the manufacture of aluminum and carbon. But the following year, a portion was raised to 11,000 volts and transmitted 20 miles by wire to the city of Buffalo, where it was used for lighting and sleep baths. This remarkable achievement was made possible by a series of innovations and discoveries made during the preceding 2 centuries involving the generation and transportation of electric energy. Some were conception, some were technical, and some involved development and technology to the point where it was economically practical. In the case of producing electricity, practice came first, the concepts follow. Perhaps this isn't surprising, given that the only natural source was lightning, impressive enough to capture the imagination and not even for current observation or experimentation. By the beginning of the 18th century, however, there was agreement among a group of experimenters that rubbing various materials, most commonly glass, produced a condition that they would call electric, and associated with this condition were spells and properties of attraction and repulsion. The Englishman named Stephen Hales demonstrated that this condition could be conducted over wet threads or metal wire. In the 1740s, the German invention of a machine that produced glass surface so that they could be more easily rolled made it much easier to generate the electric condition. And the discovery in Leyden of a means that briefly accumulated electricity in a jar made it possible to store electricity for future use and even to carry it from one place to another.
Electricity is one of the often used methods of powering our lives. Electronics, ovens, medical equipment, even some cars run electricity. The history of electricity is much longer than most people think. Brooke had a device which was likely use a battery for power, a light source over 2,000 years ago. Since the discovery of the electricity, there was been many people who have contributed technology and introduced invention using electricity that transformed our lives. Benjamin Franklin, many people associate the discovery of electricity with Benjamin Franklin, but they will be wrong. He did many experiments, including the famous kite and lightning experiment. The studies that then start to make dash a scientist experiment with electricity. Benjamin Franklin had a crazy idea that lightning consists of electricity and set out to prove in by using dangerous experiments. He tied a metal kite so to sink into water, then wait a light a storm rolled. Benjamin turned in his wife and said, "Hold my bear," and the held that string in the bear hands and flew into the kite into the storm. Okay, didn't actually say that. And Jim Franklin was very lucky that he didn't get more than small shock during the experiment. Nikola Tesla earned his nickname of Godfather of Electricity because of his many electric environments, inventions. He held over 300 patents for an invention and was very much ahead of his time. So Tesla developed wireless power and even designed for the wireless phone hundreds of years before those technologies were technical. Another major contribution from Tesla was an alternative to ineffective DC power using the LC induction motor. Thomas Edison. Thomas Edison illuminated company were the first laid down electric grid. Today, Edison's light bulb designed are still used in nostalgic decor. Many people choose to replicate induction would have the attraction even light in the within strong rooms. Charles Portier Steinmann's. Another electricity giant was Charles. No, his advanced and alerting current electricity. He was always profit and his ability to fix problems and electric circuits. One of the most amusing stories about Steinmann's is when he built already for 10,000 dollars to fix the generator. Steinmann watched the generator for 2 days, then made a little chalk mark and introduced the engineers how to fix the problem at that stop. When Frank asked Steinmann for itemizing the bill, shocked by causing his service, Steinmann said he was charging $1, making the track one day $9,999 for knowing where to put the mark.
Principles of electricity. These principles of electricity are the basis of the electrical devices in your home and school, such as television, CD player, computer, flashlight, takes the form of free electrons that transfer from one atom to the next. Thus, the more free electrons a material has, the better it conducts. There are three primary electrical parameters: the volt, the ampere, the ohm. The volt, the pressure that is put on free electron that causes them to flow, is known as electromotive force, EMF. The volt is the amount of electromotive force required to push a current of 1 ampere through a conductor with a resistance of 1 ohm. Volt formula: voltage equals to I times R. The ampere defines the flow rate of electric current. For instance, when one coulomb flows past a given point on a conductor in 1 second, it is defined as a current of 1 ampere. Ampere formula: Q divided by T. I equals to V divided by R. The ohm. The unit of electrical resistance is an ohm. The pressure needed to make 1 coulomb per second flow through a conductor having a resistance of 1 ohm is 1 volt. R equals to V divided by R. Electric current is the rate of flow of electrons in a conductor. The SI unit of electric current is the ampere. Conductors. These materials allow the free flow of electrons from one particle to another. Conductors allow for charge transfer through the free movement of electrons. The flow of electrons inside the conducting material or conductor generates an electric current. The force that is required to drive the current flow through the conductor is known as voltage. Examples of conductors: human body, aqueous solutions of salts and metals like iron, silver, and gold. Insulators are materials that restrict the free flow of electrons from one particle to another. The particles of the insulator do not allow the free flow of electrons. Subsequently, the charge is seldom distributed evenly across the surface of an insulator. Examples of insulator: plastic, wood, and glass.
Electricity will take place in a large part of our lives in the future. If it is today, and toys will how do we meet our increasing electricity? Many power plant projects are taking place both in Turkey and in the world, turning it into a harmful energy source.